Ladies and gentlemen, boys and the girls, welcome to another exciting episode of Collecting Weekly Live Unboxing. My name is Zach, joined as always by Lane, the legend Kramer. Lane, how are we doing on
Uh,
this chilly Monday evening?
Doing pretty
Night.
good. Happy MLK Day to everybody who was celebrating today in the U.S. and everything. Were you off of work?
No, I was not off of work.
Oh, okay, so we were both in that same
Yeah,
boat.
no, it
Yeah,
was
no,
not a holiday for me.
no, yeah. For this day, we get a flex holiday that we can use as a day off at some point. We just have to put it in by the end of the month. So I
Uh-huh.
haven't figured out when I'm going to use it yet. But it made it for at least a quick drive to work.
Oh yeah, it
So
was.
that wasn't terrible.
Actually, that makes a lot of sense. I was wondering why it was so slow on the streets today.
Yeah,
It
no,
does make a lot of sense,
it
Lane.
cut my time in half coming home. So I bought actually some Wendy's when I probably shouldn't have, since I try
My
not to eat
man.
fast food anymore. But what we are going to be looking at here tonight is the fast food of Hot Toys, aka an exclusive, since that is their fast food figure. Whenever they do an
Mhm.
exclusive, it's fast food. Whether it's one of these guys or whatever painted color Iron Man, they feel like it's time to put out.
There you go.
Even though I actually like that golden chrome gold one. But
What do we got today, Lane?
well, today we have got the probably what it was an anticipated figure from OT fans, the Snowtrooper Commander, which obviously this guy's seen I think for like 10 seconds in Empire
Yeah,
Strikes Back, but
basically.
he is literally the shortest um, like appearance time of any trooper in the entire OT trilogy.
Blink and you miss it, bro.
Yeah, yeah. That's not surprising. Hot Toys obviously would do this. Obviously, since they haven't done a snowtrooper in what 8 years or more, 7 8
Uh-huh.
years from
Yeah.
whenever the Battlefront and the Grunt snowtrooper. And this is one I don't think anybody like. I mean, this is like I don't know when the Tie Fighter popped up. You're just like what? Like
Yeah.
huh? It just popped up out of the blue. Except of course they made this one exclusive. I think it was 3,000 if I remember correctly.
Uh-huh.
This boy, um, this is one thing I am starting to kind of agree with some people is I really do think the Star Wars boxes they need to try and start doing some more interesting artwork and stuff for them.
Uh-huh.
Marvel, DC get all kinds of really cool, um, and then you know, hot Star even General Grievous is just like, hey, here's the figure. Have a nice day. And then you open this up, and then usually the interior artwork is actually kind of interesting. You're like, why isn't that out here?
Yeah.
But anyway, so we've got the Snowtrooper Commander here. When we get this guy open, he has a very different look than the Grunts. I'm not sure I would say I would like him better than the Grunts, for their look and everything with the knee pads and all that kind of stuff. But
Yeah.
obviously, this is probably one of the most popular designs of the original trilogy Troopers. Just because we don't get to see them very often and everything, unlike the regular Stormtroopers.
Mm.
Um, and then I would definitely say these guys got one of the most
God damn it.
uh, probably intimidating or even kind of scary looking designs here with the way their masks work. Um, but I really have to say, so they use the blue here, Snowtrooper Commander. Obviously, we've got the figure here, the sideshow exclusive tag, and then the cigar band. They do have on this side him holding a regular blaster, and then actually nothing on this side, which usually they have one on like all three sides. But
Uh-huh.
so there isn't too much to this particular box. Um, Here you've got the Stormtrooper commander himself, stationary pose, being shown obviously with also his blast tech in his holster. I'm interested to see what the holster is going to be like for this, to see if it's usual pleasure disaster waiting to happen, which is what I expect. We've got him also with the blaster rifle. Obviously this looked a little bit more interesting than the front cover, but this is definitely not the neatest insert. But you also have here, the MMS Snowtrooper Commander. And if you're wondering, if you guys are kind of trying to think back exactly when this guy appeared, he appeared in the scene with General Veers in the AT-AT or AT-AT, just for a minute being told, hey, get ready to deploy, basically. So here we've got the regular trooper. He comes with both his blasters, and he actually comes with a decent number of hands for a trooper. If you think about it, we've usually been getting like 6 hands or something, not 8 a lot of times the last couple of years. So that it's obviously not the best and everything, but it's still better than they usually. And I'm kind of shocked because usually even these exclusive, they like to go for whatever reason even lower sometime on the hands and being more. Like think about Boss, like he came with 4 hands, even though he did have some other stuff with it. But
yeah.
But exclusives, you're kind of like, okay, you're trying to on a short time frame have us spend a lot more money. Maybe you might give something else with the figure that entices us, on short notice to kind of pay $300, $400 for the figure. So here we have the Snowtrooper Commander himself in the box. So we will take a look at each one of his accessories here real quick. So we'll start off with probably, hey, Filthy Poet. Nice to see you as well. So I'm going to guess this is probably going to be a bane of this figure a little bit, where you'll need to pose him up before you put it on. Obviously, you have his grenade that goes on thermal detonator that goes on the back. But of course, for whatever reason, they just insist you have to have these hooks to hang it off the belt. Nice and loose. So I'm sure it'll be a pain in the butt. So I will probably try and point him a little bit. So here we're going to start with one of the gauntlets. Now,
what's up, Paula? What's your question? Oh, I think he'd be a good Darth Revan.
Yeah.
That fan art that's been popping around. I could see that.
Yeah. He might be a little old at this point, but if it was like, I don't know, 10 or 15 years ago, or when he was just starting to play John Wick, maybe, Yeah. But here we've got actually the fist hand, which I can't even remember the last time we had a fisted hand with a trooper, but you can see that included the plastic with the gauntlet. Very clean. Like you guys will notice where this guy is very different look. Now, I could see with this guy, you kind of worry about, yellowing and stuff maybe over time because he's so white and pure white. Like Krennic or something, or Thrawn maybe over time. So here you've got one of his blaster hands. Now, one thing I do have to say I do like here is where you've got the very, very Blizzard white for as kind of part of the armor, and then kind of the light gray for the gloves here. They actually, I think, do a pretty nice job kind of like, offsetting the colors there. Because, I mean, there's not really a whole lot of color to these guys. But I think there's enough definition there and everything. So here, then, we've got more of a gesture hand. So if you have like, any regular, if you guys are if you're getting this guy or considering getting him, if you have any of the older snow troopers and want to put them with it, this would easily work. I will say, seeing this guy come out kind of did make me go, man, could they put out maybe a General Veers and then an AT-AT driver?
Diorama? Oh, the driver would be cool.
Yeah, I will say the driver is probably one of the ones that I want the most, even though it's a variation of the TIE Fighter base and everything. I would really like an AT-AT driver. Like, I think that's one of the coolest, like, kind of, I like the TIE Fighter pilots, but kind of this winter, the white gray combination on those, I really thought those helped those stand out. If it comes, would they be like, oh my gosh, I'm going to get them over, a main character, like if they do a 2.0 Leia from A New Hope? No, I wouldn't do that. But
Mhm.
but if I had to choose between two like other OT troopers or something, I would probably go for the at pilot, just because I think they're a more unique and
What's up,
they
Christian?
only have less appearance like this guy. There's other blaster hand.
Mhm.
I will say here, I think some of they do have, get this in a little bit. They have some pretty decent detail and everything in here, showing kind of the flaps and stuff. I think the Hot Toys has
Hang on, give
become
me
really,
1 second. Just keep going, Lane.
yeah. I do think, guys, Hot Toys has become really good the last couple of years, with kind of like gloves and everything, where they'll have little showing creases and everything on the gloves and the material to make it look like there's a hand kind of inside the glove. I think they've improved quite a bit with that. So they do, like I really with the Book of Boba Fett from a few years ago. That is one like I really noticed and everything. See, like this one actually shows it off really well. If you can see there, see kind of how you do see the different strips of the glove and everything. It makes it really feel like it's a hand, a glove, not just the full sculpted plastic. I think it helps the illusion of that a little bit. And I just think that's something that they've become really good at the last couple of years. Now, here we have, of course, the Blast Tech hand soloed blaster pistol, but this is a obviously Imperial issued one. Same general sculpt and everything they've used before. Hopefully, I have had issues with Han Solo, like the Return of the Jedi one, trying to get this to go into Han's, to where you would put it on his belt or his holster, with the material and stuff. So I do worry that could be a problem with this. So I'm usually hesitant to put these in. But this is kind of where with this guy, I do kind of want to put this in his holster so you can have him actually wielding his main blaster. Right. And speaking of, we have obviously blaster rifle here. Really good paintwork and everything. Not that I expect anything less from Hot Toys. This one is a little bit cleaner looking. I think the coloration, there does not seem to be as much sometimes dirt and scratch. There is a little bit on here, especially like along here, on the rifle end of the rifle area. But it's I always love the Star Wars blaster rifles and everything. So nice, good job with these. We're gonna keep these out. And keep one blaster hand. Okay. Now I'll show you the last accessory, guys, which is going to be here at the base. These out of the way. So I'm going to move our figure here out of the way here for a moment. Now, here we've got the base itself. Now, as you might tell, if you've been collecting, Hot Toys for a while, this is definitely the sand base, but
it's
painted.
The snow edition.
Yeah, I mean, it's the snow edition.
Come on, Lane. It's a snow edition base.
Yeah. That's the actual exclusive special edition.
It's the white base.
It's the snow edition. Not sand this time, my friends. It's the special edition snow base. Just we happen to reuse a mold we've used like 20 times. Now, I am glad to see with this is because I had seen people get their Snowtrooper commanders with the nameplate upside down. So the QC wasn't great. But mine is the correct right side up. Now, I admit, I do kind of like that they did this. It's, not really an important thing or anything, but that they did actually, for the base here, or the parts that are gonna, if you attach the crotch grabber to the figure, are white, and then they actually made the actual stand you put it on white as well. Now, the one issue is, as you can see here, kinda the Arctic white that the actual stand here doesn't quite match up the best with the actual quote white sand snow / base. They're a little bit off from each other. So that is one thing. This is actually a pretty heavy base with this top here. I was just knowing, I'm like, man, this feels hard, like heavier than normal for their bases. But I think that, it's not anything like amazing or anything, but I think it's cool that they kind of did, they at least painted this so that it would match up with the snow background.
Yeah.
But that's enough of looking at all that stuff. Now, on to the main course, which, of course, we have here. The amazing-looking Snowtrooper Commander. Now, I'm expecting issues with the boots here, because there's usually always problems with the boots. But I didn't have time to remove any of the plastic. This guy was very busy until we got on. Holy moly, that went off super easy. All right, guys, so now you can see some more of the main figure itself. Looking really nice there. And now we will clear this off. And, ooh, yeah, baby. Look at that. So here you have, obviously, we seem to become kind of more standardized in the Disney Star Wars era. The helmets and stuff that you see more common, like what we saw Han Solo and Solo as a mud trooper and stuff, where these were definitely more unique because you only really saw them with him and Veers and stuff, and a little bit with some of the Death Star, like guards and everything. But this, I love this mask. Now, if any of you guys are on here who own any of the older Hot Toys Grunt Snowtroopers, where this is a solid piece of plastic. So there is not really any hip posing for this guy. Like you can kind of like kind of turn him to see, but that's like kind of it. Like there's not much of thing because since this is solid and now he does have kind of this is pretty tight on the body, but he has this with his uniform, so it is a little bit loose. There's not any wiring or anything in here, so you will not be doing any posing or anything. Like you can't like really use it to give any movement. Now, this is going to be one of the things that's a little bit annoying because it's to this belt. You're going to have to hang off the thermal detonator, which I kind of worry a little bit. Is that over time that having those hooks in there could they maybe do some damage to the because this is a fabric belt.
Yeah.
So I'm a little bit hesitant that I might, since you're going to do it, you're going to see this item. I may not keep the actual detonator on him because I don't want to damage the belt. And then you just have his right here for his blaster. So, but the suit itself is just material, fabric. So, barring any issues with the, with actual joints or something, you got pretty free range of movement with this guy. So, because undersuit or something like undersuit that is going to be like the Death Troopers or something, which completely restrain any movement.
Yeah.
But this guy is super clean. Super clean. Now,
gotta wear gloves, bro.
Yeah. This is that's about as much forward contortion you can get with him. So this guy is not going to be, this is all going to be posed with the arms and the legs and everything. But because the suit is fabric, there's plenty of movement at least you can do. So the feet here are all like one piece, but inside. So they're not split cut or anything. This foot does not seem to want to bend too much. So I'm not sure how much exact posability you can get with him necessarily. Okay. So that went in there pretty decently. The blaster into the holster. Not too much problem. So that's pretty good. So, so Oxfather, what is your favorite OT trooper?
In the movies, aesthetic wise, the
Yeah.
Scout Trooper. Uh, in the overarching mythos, probably the Shadow Trooper, but that's not on screen, obviously.
Yeah. Like the one we saw in like the
Like in
figure
Battlefront.
2.0 and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. I also did like the Red Guards, like the Imperial Guards. Those are pretty cool.
Yeah.
But we never really get to see them do anything cool, so.
Yeah. I think that was partially due to the nature of the costumes and stuff.
Oh
And
yeah,
we never got
definitely.
to see them do very
Oh
much.
yeah, the TIE fighter pilots defective. Yeah, those are fucking dope.
Yeah. Those are cool. Let's see here. Let's go with this hand. Stick this one over here. Okay. Pull this one off. Whoop. I hate when I do that. Yeah, I would agree with you there, Rob Barnes. Yeah, the blasters do really help with their black color and stuff. Since it's literally just white mixed in with some gray, and it's a very clean white. So there's not even any dirt or grime or stuff that you get with the regular troopers that help kind of offset the coloration and everything, like add a little bit more color contrast to it. Okay, so it does not feel like it wants to get too much beyond that. Okay.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool. A battle damage trash compactor box set. That little slug that lives in there.
Have you gotten any new smaller scale stuff in recently, or did you pick up anything this weekend?
God damn it, Lynn. I hope that whoever at Tamashii Nations designed this Kamehameha effect
Oh, what a
just
Goku
has
one!
the worst life because it's so cool looking
Mm-hmm.
and it's so bad. Like it actually makes me want to sell this figure that I just bought. It's awful. I did get the Gohan Goku Father Son Kamehameha Wave
Oh yeah,
bought exclusive set today, but try to fuck. I literally the whole stream. You keep seeing me turn my camera off because these fucking spikes keep falling off, and it's actually fucking killing me.
is that the father
It,
son coming out of me? Huh?
yes, it's actually fucking the worst thing I've ever handled in my entire life. Like, fuck whoever made this, dude. This thing is
But
terrible.
the well, that makes me think of the one I worry about figure wise that we've seen recently. The like absolute Batman with those spikes
Yeah, like
on
I
it and
literally cannot
everything.
wait to put this on my shelf and never have to touch this thing again. Like to the point I'm almost considering just super gluing these fucking things down.
Jeez,
Yeah,
do
Dianoga, there you go.
yeah.
It looks so good though.
Do you have any six scale figures on the horizon?
I think I actually just made or am making my final payment on the yeah, maybe PVA glue. Um on the 1977 Spider-Man, the American version.
Oh, you got that one? Oh, I don't know
Yeah, I
why I thought.
did.
Yeah, you said. Oh, you're lucky SOB. That's like selling for 600-700 bucks.
Shit. Someone wants to give me 600-700 bucks. Might
Yeah,
be tempted, but
that's like Crosshair when he popped up. All right, I'll just stretch this out a little bit.
yeah, he's expensive, dude.
Yeah, I think he's cool, but I wanted the Japanese one. That was like the big one that I wanted because I like that. All right, let me give you guys a better look now.
God damn it. Can't give me
So here we have the Snowtrooper Commander. So you're pretty base build. Now I will say a couple things that I would have with this figure, at least my copy, is that I don't find that the shoulder areas here can actually raise up very far. I was having problems with both the right and the left. The elbows, all that stuff, the fabric worked great. So that does feel like one area that could do is that the arms don't seem to be able to go up very well. So if you're trying like to maybe do a higher pointing pose or something like that, it's not going to be the easiest thing. Um, the legs here, despite having the fabric, I did not find the feet and on this side, his left, my left, very easy to move around at all. Now, like I said,
Mhm.
this might be just my copy of it. But that's one thing I think sometimes you can face with these exclusives where they are turned around in a relatively short period of time, and probably in comparison to some that they spend up to 2 years in the production cycle to actually get out. Um, the but switching out the hands and everything really easy. The weapon hands for being able to actually place the blaster, both of them, I just tried. They go in really easy. That's a lot of times an issue with trooper figures and stuff, or
Mhm.
even whatever clones, other stuff. So that was super easy. So that's to me a plus. Because of the chest armor here, and because of this is solid plastic instead of being actual material like the original, just being a material like the original ones are, there's no head movement. You can't even move the head forward or do a down tilt if you're trying to have him look down the blaster or something. That's not going to happen. So there are some just inherent things to this design that are I did not put on. I just decided not to even bother putting on the grenade because I don't think anybody cares about that really, and I don't want to stick it on the belt because I'm afraid it might damage it. Um, the things that I have to say that's just for kind of movement stuff and everything. I do have to say I really like the clean look to this, though. Just a lot of times we like to see little dirt, little grime, little something on the thing. It gives it a lived-in kind of feel, at least to the figures, especially troopers with like armor like this. But I really actually like the totally clean look. This looks like the guy who tells the grunts go out there and fight while he stays way behind the
Yeah, he
battle
chills in
line.
the AT-AT, bro.
Yeah, just hoping it doesn't get blown up from underneath it. That might be the only drawback. But I also do like they made sure you notice here, because you don't see that. One thing we haven't seen from a lot of like the Disney troopers, or when they've been called, like, we had the Stormtrooper commander. So we were confused by that. Like, is this guy a commander, like a commander rank, like, officer or something? Or like, how does he fall? Or we had the tank commander or something. I do like they made, with this being OT and stuff, they went into the extra detail to help have like the little markings for rank and everything actually on his chest armor and everything, to show, I guess, maybe he's for trooper leader or types. He's a higher rank, where, the sergeants and stuff you would just see wearing, their poltroons or something. So I actually like that detail with this guy that helps give him more of an imperial officer rank. You didn't really see that on troopers too much. Another plus, that I think actually, with the complete white holster here, and then having just like the blast tech, like the black blaster, I love the color contrast there. It makes it more noticeable and everything. And another plus, this actually went into the holster without any problems. So it's wide enough and everything like that. Unlike the issues I had with Return of the Jedi Han, because it's the same stupid blaster. Got it in there, no problem. And it's about looking exactly where it should be. That's another plus I had with this figure. I love the look, the design. I don't think it's quite as interesting looking as the regular grunts, just because they've got like the knee pads and all that kind of stuff on him. But because they're just material, I think with the legs, it does probably make this guy a little easier to pose in the bottom half. He's still not great, but I think in comparison, I'm willing to bet they're a little bit easier. I do not have or not had any of the Snowtrooper original figures. Obviously, this guy might be just a little easier because he's made from a body that's 6 or 7 years later to him as well. I love the head sculpt here, where it's like kind of, despite it limits, as I was saying, I thought it was a little bit of a negative. The plastic here being which is accurate to how it looked in the movie. But I actually like that. It gives it a little bit more solid, I think almost kind of scarier tone here, with kind of the, goggles, the soulless look, because they're all blacked out and everything for these guys. Even somewhat, I think these guys look creepier than even the original TK Stormtroopers. The boots, they're one solid material, so they kind of bend and stuff. They're okay. I still kind of like split cut, but at the same time, I'm starting to like where Hot Toy seems to be doing just more, just plastic, sculpted plastic for all their feet. I think long term that's probably going to be more easy to use and everything. But I have to give, I'm actually surprised. I wasn't sure, because obviously this guy was a short term like exclusive that they got me, like they did with the Range Trooper last year from Solo at the end of the year, ordering a figure that I didn't have planned or anything like that. And I was like, God darn it, I was not going to fall into the trooper trap again. But I've never had a Snowtrooper. I love the Snowtroopers, even though this wasn't one of the regular ones. I'm like, oh, but they've never done the Commander before. This guy is something that I'm starting to get, like I said, I'm excited for the re-release of the original Star Wars movie. So I'm kind of feeling that reawakening of the OT trilogy love a little bit. That's why I pre-ordered the Bosch Leia.
Yeah.
And I've got that on pre-order now. But I gotta say, I'm probably gonna give this guy, I think he's not, I think I'm gonna give him probably like an 8.9 out of 10 review range and everything like that. Like I actually like this guy more than I thought I was going to when I finally got him. I just like that they actually, even though they did it the cheapest way possible, they kind of gave you a snow base. They even took the effort to try and color combo to the actual figure, the actual crotch grabber. Like, it's not a big deal, but to me, like it does help that disappear at least a little bit into the costume.
Yeah.
I think this guy's a good figure. He's not a great figure. He's not a great figure, but I think he's a good figure. He's definitely, I would tell you, I think if you like Troopers at all, even though I know he's sold out technically, he might be worth if you had some interest, not maybe at the time, but it's something you might, if it pops up, go on the wait list for this guy. I think he would be worth it. He is a little bit more expensive, $285. That, of course, is probably the OT and the exclusive
tax. There you go.
Yeah. Hey, Mario. I'm guessing
Mario?
you probably got this guy, Mario. I'm like 100% sure you got this guy. But this guy, if you want to see a guy who's got like the best trooper collection I've ever seen for like all the different troopers represented, Mr. Mario Darth Profti, just go see some video or something he's on, and you can see his troopers in the background. It is an amazing setup.
Hey, Mario's got an order.
Yeah, Mario, if you hadn't got this one, I would have been like, I would have had a very confused look on my face. But this guy's a good trooper, guys. I think he's worth it. If you didn't get him at the time, go on the wait list. You never know, it might pop up. But he is more expensive, as I mentioned, $285. But I wish he was maybe $10 or $15 cheaper. But for what he is, and we haven't had one of these guys of any sort for like more than almost a decade. At least 7 or 8 years. I think it was 2018 or 2017, Mario. You probably would know because I'm willing to bet you got him at the time. Anyway, we have gone on a little bit longer than we planned to tonight. I want to say thanks, guys. I had a lot of fun actually with this guy. A lot more than I thought I was going to. I just got him in this weekend. I'm hyped, man. I want to see some more. I'm kind of hyped in for some OT figures and stuff. I'm hoping this year because I know a lot of I don't expect a ton of Star Wars or stuff, at least after the first half of this year, because I think Hot Toys is going to be all in production design, getting set for Avengers Doomsday because there's going to be 500 characters in that. Because I mean, the Oxfather will be returning in Avengers Doomsday by the time it's all said and done. But I had a great time with you tonight, sir. This was a nice kind of palate cleanser after kind of having a midday today. I had a good time, guys.
Hell yeah. All right. Love you guys. Thank you for watching, and we'll catch you on the next unboxing.
Hey, take care, everybody.